Hello, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, your host, and as always, I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Julia.
Hi everyone, I'm so happy to be here with you again. If you want to learn how real people speak English in everyday life, then today's episode is perfect for you.
That's right. Our topic today is how people talk in English. You'll learn how native speakers talk in real conversations, not just in textbooks. We'll break it down in a simple and fun way so you can start speaking more naturally too.
We'll talk about everyday conversations, small talk, idioms, the difference between formal and informal English, and even some common mistakes to avoid.
And we'll also give you real examples and a chance to practice with us. So whether you're at home, commuting, or just relaxing, you can improve your English with us right now.
Yes, and don't worry if you're a beginner. We'll keep the language easy and clear for you to follow. Just listen and enjoy.
So grab your notebook or just sit back and listen. Let's explore how people really talk in English, starting with everyday conversations. All right, let's dive into our first part, everyday conversations. Julia, have you ever noticed how different real-life English is from the English we see in textbooks?
Oh, absolutely, Jason. In real life, people speak quickly, use contractions like I'm, your, let's, and they often don't use full sentences. It's much more relaxed and casual.
Exactly. Let's give our listeners an example. Imagine two friends meeting on the street.
Hey, long time no see. How have you been?
Hey, I've been good. Just super busy with work. You?
Same here. Work's been crazy lately. Want to grab coffee sometime?
Sure. Let's do it this weekend. That's a very simple, natural conversation. Notice how short and casual the sentences are?
Yes, and how we use phrases like long time no see. How have you been? Want to grab coffee? These are very common in everyday English.
Also, we don't always speak in full grammar. For example, instead of saying, "Would you like to have coffee with me?" we just say, "Want to grab coffee?"
Right. It's not wrong grammar, it's just spoken English. And contractions are everywhere, like I have becomes I've, and do you wanna becomes wanna.
Let's share a few more common phrases that people use every day.
Good idea. Here are a few. What's up means how are you? No worries means it's okay or don't worry about it. I'm good, thanks. A common reply when someone asks how you are. Sounds good means okay or I agree. Let's catch up soon means let's talk or meet again soon.
These small phrases can help you sound more natural and confident when you talk to someone in English.
Also, don't forget that in daily life, people often mix questions and answers.
Hey, Julia, are you free later?
Not sure yet. What's up?
Thinking of going for a walk. Want to come?
Maybe. Text me.
Sure thing.
See how casual and short everything is? That's very typical in English-speaking countries.
And the best way to learn this is to listen a lot and practice speaking. Podcasts, shows, and talking with others help a lot.
Yes, and don't be afraid of making mistakes. Just try to speak naturally and listen to how others talk.
Coming up next, we'll talk about something people often forget: tone and body language. It's not just what you say, but how you say it.
That's right. Let's go there now.
Now let's talk about something really important that's not just about words, tone, and body language.
Yes, a big part of communication is how you say things, not just the words you use. Tone of voice and body language can change the whole meaning of a sentence.
For example, if I say I'm fine in a happy tone, it sounds like everything is okay. But if I say it in a flat or sad tone, I'm fine, it can mean the opposite.
Exactly. And sometimes native speakers understand each other more from tone and facial expressions than from the actual words.
Let's do a quick demo. I'll say the same words in two different tones. Ready? Oh, great, you're here. Oh, great, you're here.
Wow! Same sentence, totally different feelings. In the first one, you're happy. In the second, maybe you're annoyed.
Exactly. So, for English learners, It's really important to listen to the emotion in people's voices.
Now let's talk about body language. That means using your face, hands, or posture to help communicate.
In English-speaking cultures, people often smile a lot when they talk, nod to show they're listening, and use hand gestures to explain something.
Yes, and when someone is interested, they might lean forward, but if they're bored, they might cross their arms or look away.
Let's say you're meeting someone for the first time. If you smile, make eye contact, and say, "Nice to meet you," in a friendly tone, they'll feel good.
But if you say it with no expression and look away, it might seem rude or cold even if your words are correct.
So, here's a tip. When you practice English, don't just say the words, act the words. Use your face, hands, and voice. It makes a big difference.
Absolutely. Even just watching videos or mirroring native speakers can help you understand tone and body language better.
All right, coming up next, we'll talk about something we all use every day, but often forget how important it is: small talk and icebreakers.
Yes, those little conversations that help start a friendly chat. Stay with us.
Now let's talk about something that might seem small, but it's actually very important: small talk and icebreakers.
Yes. Small talk is the short, simple conversation people have to be polite, friendly, or just to start talking. It helps break the silence. That's why we also call it an icebreaker.
Right. And even though small talk might not be deep or serious, it's a big part of English-speaking culture. It's how people connect.
Let's give a few examples. Imagine you're in an elevator with a coworker. You don't want to stay silent, so you might say,
"Nice weather today, huh?" Or "Did you watch the game last night?"
or traffic was really bad this morning. These topics may seem boring, but they're safe and friendly. That's the goal.
Here are some common small talk topics in English. The weather looks like rain today. The weekend. Any plans for the weekend? Work or school? How's your day going? Sports or news? Did you hear about that match yesterday? Compliments. I like your jacket.
These simple questions open the door for conversation. And remember, the goal isn't to have a deep talk just to be social and polite.
Let's show an example. Here's a short small talk conversation between two people meeting at a party.
Hi, I don't think we've met before. I'm Julia.
Nice to meet you, Julia. I'm Jason. How do you know the host?
Oh, we used to work together. What about you?
We're old college friends. So, have you tried the snacks yet?
Not yet, but they look good. See how easy that was? They didn't talk about anything serious, but they were friendly and polite.
Exactly. And once small talk starts, it often leads to deeper conversation, but it has to start somewhere.
So here's a tip. Don't be afraid to start with something simple. Even a short sentence like, "How's your day?" can open the door.
And remember, smile, use a friendly tone, and show interest. People love talking to someone who listens.
Next up, we'll talk about something fun: idioms and expressions. You'll learn some cool phrases that make your English sound more natural.
Stay tuned. It's going to be a blast. All right, Julia. Now it's time for something really fun and interesting: idioms and expressions. These are phrases people use all the time that don't always make sense if you translate them word for word.
Yes, idioms make English colorful and exciting, but they can be tricky for learners because the meaning isn't always clear from the words themselves.
Exactly. For example, if someone says, "It's raining cats and dogs," they don't mean animals are falling from the sky. It just means it's raining very heavily.
Let's share a few popular idioms that people use in everyday English conversations.
Great idea. Here are 5 idioms with simple explanations. Break the ice to start a conversation in a friendly way. Piece of cake, something very easy to do. Hit the books to study hard. Under the weather, feeling sick or not well. Spill the beans to tell a secret.
Those are great, and these idioms come up in conversations a lot, so knowing them will help you understand native speakers better.
Let's do a quick example with the idiom break the ice. Imagine you're at a party and you want to start talking to someone new.
You might say, "Hi, I'm Julia. How do you know the host?" That's a way to break the ice.
Exactly. And if you want to say something was easy, you could say, the exam was a piece of cake.
It sounds much more natural and fun than just saying, "The exam was easy."
Here's a quick challenge for our listeners. Try to use one idiom you learned today in a conversation this week.
Yes, practice makes perfect, and don't worry if you don't get it right the first time. Just keep trying.
Next, we'll talk about how to speak formally and informally. That's important because the way you talk changes depending on who you're talking to.
You don't want to sound too stiff with your friends or too casual in a job interview.
Let's get into it. All right, Julia, let's talk about something that can be a little tricky for English learners speaking formally and informally.
Yes, the way you talk depends a lot on who you're talking to and where you are. Speaking to your boss is different from chatting with your friends.
Exactly. Formal English is polite, professional, and clear. Informal English is relaxed, friendly, and often uses slang or contractions.
Let's start with an example. Imagine you're writing an email to your boss.
In formal English, you might say, "Dear Mr. Smith, I hope this message finds you well. I am writing to inform you about the meeting scheduled for next Monday."
But if you're texting a friend about the same meeting, you might say, "Hey, just wanted to remind you about the meeting on Monday."
See the difference? The formal version uses full sentences, polite words like, "Dear, and I am writing to inform you." The informal version is short and casual.
Here are some common formal versus informal expressions. Formal, informal, "I am writing to inform you. Just wanted to tell you I would appreciate it if could you? Thank you for your attention. Thanks, I look forward to hearing from you. Talk soon."
Another big difference is in contractions. Formal English usually avoids contractions like don't or can't. Informal English uses them all the time.
Also, slang and idioms are common in informal speech, but usually not in formal writing or talking.
Here's a tip for learners. Match your language to the situation. When in doubt, it's better to be a little more formal.
And practice switching between the two styles so you feel comfortable in any situation.
Coming up next, we'll talk about something very important: how to ask questions and keep a conversation going.
Great! Asking questions is the key to good conversations. Don't miss it.
All right, Julia, let's talk about something every English learner faces: common mistakes people make when speaking English.
Yes, making mistakes is totally normal, but if we know the common ones, we can avoid them and speak more clearly.
One common mistake is mixing up verb tenses. For example, saying "I go to the store yesterday" instead of "I went to the store yesterday."
Right, past events need the past tense. So remember, I went, not I go, for something that already happened.
Another mistake is wrong word order in questions. For example, saying "you are coming" instead of "are you coming?"
Yes, in English, questions usually start with an auxiliary verb like are, do, or did. So, are you coming? Sounds natural.
And many learners confuse prepositions like saying "I am good in English" instead of "I am good at English."
Prepositions can be tricky, but practicing common phrases helps. For example, good at, interested in, listen to.
Here's one more mistake: pronunciation errors that change the meaning. For example, saying sheet instead of shit, or vice versa. That can cause funny or embarrassing moments.
So, practice listening and repeating words carefully. And don't be afraid to ask for help or correction.
Great advice. The key is to keep practicing and not worry too much about being perfect.
Exactly. Mistakes are part of learning. The more you speak, the better you get.
Coming up next, we'll talk about how to practice speaking English every day to improve faster.
Stay tuned.
All right, Julia. Now let's practice what we've been talking about with some role-play examples. This is a great way to get comfortable speaking English.
Yes, role plays help you practice real-life situations in a safe space. Let's do 2 quick examples.
Okay, first scenario, meeting someone for the first time. Hi, I don't think we've met before. I'm Jason.
Nice to meet you, Jason. I'm Julia. What do you do?
I'm a teacher. How about you?
I work in marketing. Do you enjoy your job?
Yes, I love it. What about you?
Me too. It's fun and challenging. Great. Now let's try a second scenario. Ordering food at a restaurant.
Hi, I'd like to order a cheeseburger and fries, please.
Sure. Would you like anything to drink?
Yes, a glass of water, please.
Got it. Your order will see how these simple conversations use polite language and clear questions.
Role-playing like this is a fantastic way to practice speaking and build confidence.
Try practicing with a friend or even by yourself in front of a mirror.
Next up, we'll share some tips on how to improve your English pronunciation.
Don't miss it.
All right, Julia, we're almost at the end of today's episode. But before we wrap up, let's share some quick tips on how to speak English like a native speaker.
Yes, speaking like a native isn't about being perfect. It's about sounding natural and confident.
Here are a few tips. Listen carefully to native speakers watch movies, listen to podcasts, and pay attention to how they speak. Practice speaking regularly, even if it's just talking to yourself or repeating phrases aloud. Focus on rhythm and intonation. English has a musical flow, with some words stressed more than others. Use contractions instead of saying, I am going. Say, I'm going. Learn common phrases and expressions. They make your speech sound more natural.
Also, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Native speakers make mistakes too. The key is to keep practicing.
And remember, speaking confidently is just as important as speaking correctly.
Absolutely. The more you practice, the more natural you'll sound.
That's all for today. Thanks for joining us on the English Learning Podcast.
See you next time. Keep practicing and keep talking.
All right, Julia. It's time for our favorite part, practice time for our listeners. This is where we help you get speaking right now.
Yes, we'll say some sentences and questions slowly and then give you a moment to repeat after us.
Let's start with a simple greeting. Repeat after me. Hello, how are you today?
Great. Now try this one. What do you like to do in your free time?
Good job. Here's a question using an idiom. Have you ever broken the ice at a party?
Nice. Let's try a formal sentence I am writing to inform you about the meeting scheduled for Monday.
Last one. Can you please help me with this task?
Awesome. Keep practicing these sentences throughout your day.
Remember, speaking often and practicing out loud is the best way to improve.
That's right. Keep up the great work, and soon you'll feel more confident speaking English.
Thanks for practicing with us today. All right, Julia. We've covered a lot today about how people talk in English, from everyday conversations, tone and body language, idioms, formal versus informal speech, and more.
Yes, Jason. We talked about the importance of understanding different ways people speak so you can communicate confidently in many situations.
Remember, learning English is a journey. It takes time, practice, and patience. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They help you learn and improve.
Keep listening, speaking, and practicing every day. Use the tips and examples we shared, and soon you'll notice your English getting stronger and more natural.
Thanks so much for joining us today. We hope you found this episode helpful and fun.
See you next time on the English Learning Podcast. Keep talking and keep growing.
That's a wrap for today's episode. If you enjoyed this podcast, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to leave a comment telling us what topic you want us to cover next. We love hearing from you.
Follow us on social media for more English learning tips and updates.
Thanks for being part of our community. Keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next episode.